Hey guys, welcome back to Diet Starts Tomorrow with Mahesh Kotagi. I got a very funny guest. He has a great podcast called Funbearable, and he also produces the Tuesdays with Stories podcast. Please keep it going for Chuck Staton, everybody.
Woo. What's up, man?
Welcome,
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
No, I was excited. I was like, oh, I want to do some more New York podcasts, and you hit me up like the same day I was going to make a post. Yeah, it was beforehand though. It was crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like. Fate was getting us to meet. You know what I mean? I thought there was going to be a bowl of spaghetti. I thought we were going to start in each end.
We could do that.
I'm down. I was
doing food at the very early episodes. I would bring like a weird food or something. One, it got hard to find more progressive. Like we did Oreo Coca-Cola, that flavor.
Oh yes, yeah.
Which was actually surprisingly pretty good.
Oh wow,
honestly. That was actually really good. But then I was like, then it became a thing of okay, now we're eating on mic. Now it's a mess, and I'm like, all right, maybe I don't want to get kicked out of here.
There's a guy named Danny Killia. He's in Boston. He's the nicest guy ever. And I think his podcast is called Dinner at Your Place.
Oh.
And you tell him your favorite dish from when you were a kid, and he makes it, and you have it on the podcast.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great podcast, super funny guy. Check it out.
Oh, check it out.
He had me on last year. I promised him he can come on Funbearable. I never had him on. I'm going to have you on. This is part of the payback. I'm plugging you. Great show.
What was your meal? What did he make for you?
I wanted him to make me chicken marsala with twice baked potatoes.
Ooh.
And he killed it.
Really? I was going to ask, is he a good cook?
He was great. He was awesome.
Wow.
And he was telling me all about all these other dishes and how he learned it. He was excellent. Check out Danny Killia, Dinner at Your Place. He's great.
That's awesome. We'll put a link in the description. That's
cool,
man.
And by the way, the reason I look like a drowned rat is because it's pouring today.
It is raining.
I took the ferry over, and I took the one.
Took the ferry over.
And then I had to walk, and I'm like, I should have just gotten an Uber for that last 10 minutes because I'm like, I'm going to be on camera, and my hair is so flat. I hate it. But what are you going to do?
It's the humidity. Man, when it's like humid and wet, like I try and get as much volume as I can, and then it just kind of...
You look like that hair is strong. You got some strong roots. I can tell.
I got strong gel, a strong pomade.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what it is. But it doesn't wash out, and so now it's just like stuck in there for...
I'd rather have it. Your hair looks great, man. I'm almost going to walk out because I'm so jealous of that.
So you're the first person.
Very upsetting.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So tell me, you're from Rhode Island.
From Rhode Island, that's basically grew up in these two small suburb towns of Providence, Warren and Bristol.
Okay.
And I love Rhode Island, love Providence, love Warren and Bristol. You know, I was in a punk band for 15 years.
Were you?
Yeah. So Providence was our home. So I got super close to the music scene and all the clubs, the venues, the bookers, all the publications. So I love Providence. I absolutely love it.
That's awesome. What was the band called?
The band was called Senior Discount.
I like that.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, we played up and down the East Coast for like I said, like 15 years.
That's awesome. Dude. What was your influences
So I love mainstream punk rock like Blink-182 and Green Day, but like Rancid, No Effects.
No Effects is
smaller
great.
bands like the Suicide Machines are big to me. Choking Victim. It's tough because there's so many that I love. I love like kind of the weirder ones like MXPX, the Ataris.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Ataris is great.
Goldfinger is like one of my favorites.
99 Red Balloons.
The
that's
best.
Great. Yeah.
I love the ska scene. We actually ended up getting signed by the drummer of Less Than Jake to his label, Paper and Plastic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Yeah, we got there in 2018. And then eventually the pandemic hit, and like I was kind of doing film production and music.
Okay.
And
you had started the film around the same time?
I started making short films when I was like 12.
Okay.
And then just like when we had the band, we started the band around 2003, 2004.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where you get into the scene and you're like, oh, there's fucking 1 million bands just like us. How do we stand out?
Just like comedy.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, how do we stand out? And I'm like, well, I do film production. So we started doing big prank videos and like sitcom type videos, like almost like the Monkees meets It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
So we would have a show coming up and we'd be like, all right, we're going to be at this venue. Let's get this band to be part of this video. And we'd make like an A storyline, B storyline, C storyline.
Wow.
And make a 25-minute, like basically an episode of a sitcom promoting the show. Or the release, whatever it was.
Man,
it was an album.
That's a lot of work.
It was great. Well, that was my that was like my crash course into film production.
Wow.
Like I went to school for film, but it was just a film history degree, like I was telling you beforehand.
Yeah.
And so there was no film production in that.
Okay.
So this was like, and you're starting out and you got one handy cam. Then you watch it and you do like a couple like that. You're like, oh, the sound sucks. Then you start getting a boom mic. Then you're like, oh, it doesn't look good. Then you get lights. Then you're like, well, you know what? We should have 2 angles on this. And you just slowly
start learning
up the production.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because when we started, we didn't give a shit about the production. So we were doing a video constantly. Then when the production gets harder and takes more time and more people, we were doing like 1 video every 6 months by the end because it would take so long to edit it.
Effort. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was directing, writing. I was one of the main characters because there was 4 people in the band, and I was the one doing the editing too.
Oh,
so
wow.
the time commitment was so crazy. We were making no money as a band, as a punk band touring around the East Coast. You're not making any money. So
same as comedy.
Yeah, exactly. So
in fact, you're losing money.
Yeah, exactly. So the film stuff, you know, I was doing a little bit of film work, but during the pandemic, working with Tuesdays with Stories is what got me from Rhode Island to New York.
Oh, so you started with them in the pandemic?
Yes. I don't know if you, do you want to hear the story of what happened?
I would love to hear the story, yeah.
So,
I've never heard the story, yeah.
Okay, so basically what happened, I don't even know if we really talked about it on Tuesdays. There was an episode of my old podcast where Mark came to Warren. He came to my old house. And me and Mark and my buddy Brad sat on the couch and we kind of talked about the Patreon and how all that stuff happened. But the real whole story is basically I was doing film work independently. I was working on my own stuff for the band, Senior Discount. And I had started this podcast called the Chuck and Brad Podcast in like 2008, 2009.
Okay.
And we shot a couple live episodes in Providence at like smaller independent performance spaces. And I was a huge fan of this podcast called Tell 'em Steve Dave.
Tell 'em Steve Dave, okay.
And that was Walt and Brian from Comic Book Men, the TV show on AMC.
Oh, yes, we were talking about this before. Okay.
Yes, and Quinn from Impractical Jokers.
Oh, wow, okay.
And they recorded in Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, Kevin Smith's comic book store.
I've been there a few times, actually. I love that area.
Oh, Red Bank?
Red Bank's so nice, yeah.
I love it. So, and Kevin Smith was a gigantic influence me growing up. I loved Comic Book Men. It was funny because I watched it before Impractical Jokers started. I started listening to the podcast.
So that brought you into
Steve
Impractical Jokers. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I saw that they were doing a live show in like 2016.
Okay.
And they never filmed anything. It was 100% audio. Yes. This is a long time ago. You know,
I used to listen to it back then. I was from day one, I think. I was listening to that show. Yeah.
Tell 'em Steve Dave?
No, Tuesday. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is Tell 'em Steve Dave.
Oh, this is Tell 'em Steve. Okay.
So I was listening to that show. They were going to do a live show, and they never did live shows.
Okay.
And I reached out, and I'm like, "Are you guys filming?" No answer. I reached out to a couple of them. One of them was just like, "No, we're all set," and kind of blew me off, which is fine. I don't know them, you know. Then I was like, "Let me do some research," and I looked up the Impractical Jokers manager.
Okay.
I found him, Dexter, wicked nice guy. I wrote to him, and I'm like, "You guys should be filming this." And the day before they were doing the live show, he wrote me back and said, "Yeah, come film it."
Wow.
So I had to teach my friend Brad and my girlfriend at the time how to run cameras. Like we had a crash course the night before, and I'm like, focus, color, blah, blah, blah.
Because you weren't planning that they were going to get back to you.
Exactly. And I only had one camera at the time. So we went to Best Buy, we bought a few cameras.
Okay.
And we went to the Gramercy Theater in New York from Rhode Island.
Was it Gramercy Theater?
It was at Gramercy.
Wow.
So we shot 2 shows. Sal Vulcano opened.
Okay, wow.
It was like when he first started stand-up. This is summer 2016, so it's 9 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So we filmed that. We filmed the 2 Tell 'em Steve Dave episodes.
Okay.
And it had like basically the whole cast of Comic Book Men. Ming was there and everything.
Oh, nice.
And a bunch of people from that world. I put that footage together. I edited it. I sent it to them. They had 2 other Blu-rays they wanted to do. We released that as a Blu-ray at the time.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. So they had 2 other video projects they wanted to do, so I helped with those.
Wow.
Over the course of like a year and a half. Then Comic Book Men gets canceled.
Yes.
2018.
AMC, right?
AMC.
Yeah.
And so Walt, the main guy, hits me up and he's like, "We're going to start doing a Patreon to supplement the income, you know, for." And so
okay.
They pulled me into Patreon right away, and we did super high production videos. So what happened with Tuesdays is I'm doing all these videos. I'm literally driving from Rhode Island and New Jersey, and I'm staying in a hotel for like 5 days, and we're just filming at Jay and Silent Bob's all the time. And during this time, I start working with Kevin.
Okay.
I reached out to Kevin. I sent him some stuff. He liked it. He pulled me into some of his stuff. I was shooting for him a little bit as well here, but I was just commuting. So I did have Joe List on my podcast around this time in Providence when he came to the Comedy Connection in East Providence.
Nice. Yeah.
But
Which you're doing a show there soon?
Yes, we're going to plug that. Yeah, so basically my podcast is called Funbearable. We do these live podcasts that are kind of like, they're not podcasts, they're like live sketch shows mostly. There's a lot of bits, a lot of fun, some live prank stuff sometimes. And we're doing one Sunday, June 1st at the Comedy Connection in East Providence, Rhode Island. So go to funbearablepod.com and get those tickets. It's myself, Brad Rohr, and Ray Harrington. Those two guys are the funniest guys I've ever met. I'm lucky to do a podcast with them, but check out the live show. I'll talk more about our live shows in a minute, but appreciate that. So I came in, we had a great first day. That's where I think that's where we filmed that intro to the Tuesdays that's there now. With them going and walking around.
Yeah.
All that is from then. And one of the first Seinfeld bonuses we did, Musqueef TV.
Dude, I've watched every episode 100 times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big Seinfeld guy.
Oh, hell yeah, of course. And they liked that day, and I actually came in with a programming schedule. And I was like, I think the key to Patreon, and this is my personal thing, definitely very much from Walt and his success. I love the idea of like, you do a main show, like let's say Tuesdays with Stories, and then the Patreon is a rotating like lineup of shows that are different. Yeah. And the reason that's fun to me, and hopefully for the listener, is because it's not just the same thing you're always getting, where you're like, I'm going to get 52 episodes a year of this free.
Yeah.
Do you want to pay for more of exactly that? It's a tough sell for me.
That makes sense.
So if you're like, well, they love Seinfeld, and that's a huge part of it, and they already had kind of done a little bit of Seinfeld commentary. It's like, let's make that a full-fledged show. I go, and we'll do a rotating bonus every week, so people don't ever get like bored. So if they see Musqueef TV, which is the Seinfeld commentary show, they might not get in again for 5 weeks. Yeah. So by then they're like, oh shit, that's back. That's great.
Let me check that out. Yeah.
And it's kind of a different thing. And I brought that to the table. And so I came in as this Patreon consultant guy. And we basically tripled it in 18 months. We tripled the Patreon.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Yeah. Questions now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rhode Island.
Yeah.
I love food. I love talking to people about their favorite foods. Okay, now we got to know you a little bit. What was your go-to spots in Rhode Island? Are you a sweet person? Are you a savory person? What's cooking in that mind of yours?
So I'm probably more savory.
You are? Okay.
And what was really cool about the Rhode Island restaurant scene was my band had won this award from this magazine, this local magazine. It was Best Pop Punk Band. And they were like, do you want to start writing for us? Because you have a podcast.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And they're like, you're going to write about music. And I'm like, okay. And then I was like, a couple days later, I was like, can I write about whatever I want? And they were like, sure. I just went with food.
Okay.
And 2 other magazines hired me to do all food.
Really? All in Rhode Island?
So, yeah.
All right. So you're the person to talk to.
Yeah. So I was constantly going to new restaurants, and it'd be great because they'll be like, go at Tuesday at 4 p.m. It'll be slow. The chef is just going to take care of you.
Wow.
And my move was to go, because they would just be like, what do you want? And I'd say, send me the stuff that you want to be showcased. And so what happens is they send you the best stuff they make, and they send you a ton of stuff.
The most expensive stuff they make.
Exactly. So my girlfriend was a photographer, and she became my photographer for my articles, so we would work together. Yeah.
That's cool.
It was great. And so the Rhode Island food scene is really eclectic.
Okay.
How
would you describe, like, what types of food is it?
Well, it's interesting. I think people think of Providence, Rhode Island, and they think of Italian food in Federal Hill. Federal Hill is like this main area where they have very high-end Italian restaurants, and it's kind of like, it's Jersey Shore-ish. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
But that's not really what I go for.
Yeah.
I do love Italian food. I grew up with a ton of it. I'm Portuguese and French.
Ooh,
which is interesting.
Very
I know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Sort of Spanish, maybe not. Who knows? But my favorite restaurant, or one of my top 5, is Los Andes, which is Peruvian and Bolivian.
Oh.
And their ceviche is amazing. It's so good. But what I found out is there was a lot of great places, and I was talking to someone in the food scene. I was like, why do you think there's so many varied places in Rhode Island? And he said because RISD is there, which is the top art design school in the country. And there's also all these culinary schools, and the creative people at the design school and the culinary students get together and they come up with ideas.
Wow.
And they push them, so it's a really great place.
That's awesome. So it's like, if you're a foodie and you want to try different food, that's the place to go.
I think Providence is amazing. And I've lived in New York for 3.5 years. My brother moved to I'm trying to think of exactly where he was in Vermont, but he moved to this place that was kind of like a food place there, and he's like, I still miss the food in Providence. But yeah, I think Their Mexican's amazing. Their Italian is great. I think they have a great coffee scene.
Ooh.
It's great. But yeah,
You a coffee guy?
Oh, I'm a cold brew a day guy.
Oh yeah, you were trying to get the ice for the cold brew.
Yes.
We didn't have ice.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Next time,
no,
we will
it's totally cool. Water works great. But yeah, like I'm a big coffee guy.
You prefer cold brew or?
I do cold brew every day. One cold brew.
it.
And usually during the week it's like, a dumb chain, but on the weekends I'm like, all right, I'm spending it. I'm spending the money. I'm going to an independent place and finding a
What was
cool
your
place.
spot in? You got a favorite spot in Rhode Island?
Yes, I do. So Borealis.
Ooh,
it was
Borealis.
great. So good.
Aurora Borealis.
Yes, exactly.
Is that what it's named after?
I don't know. The Borealis is, to me, the best cold brew, I think. But right up there is Seven Stars Bakery, which is this
Seven Stars
amazing.
Bakery.
It's amazing. And my go-to there is cold brew with oat milk and maple syrup, and it's incredible.
Oh, okay. I gotta try this out. You do. So you're not doing the pastries. You're not hitting the pastries.
Yeah, I want to hit those pastries. Every time I see them, I want to hit them. I try not to, but there are a lot of amazing ones. Like they have, I think it's called a Queen Amman.
Okay.
I've never even heard of it before, but I think it's like when you take croissant dough and you put it in a muffin tray and you make it like those. It's incredible. But yeah, so for
I'm
food,
interested in that.
for actual like dinner and food stuff, like there's a great chain called Chomp, which is just super high-end burgers.
Ooh.
They make amazing wings. It's incredible. There's one in Warren and there's one in Providence, and like they're killing it. They're just opening a third location too in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh,
those are great. Yeah, I've been to a ton of places. I love seafood. That's a huge thing there. Clam chowder, lobster bisque, clam cakes, lobster rolls, like baked scrod. I love that kind of stuff.
I've been to. My friend has a condo in Rhode Island. We went and stayed with him.
Oh, nice.
It's like one of the smaller. It's like we were 10 minutes away from Taylor Swift's house.
Oh yeah, so you're probably I think in Newport then, probably
maybe close to Newport. Yeah, we went to the
Newport.
Newport downtown. There's a donut spot that was there that we went to.
Was it PV Donuts? Or
Yeah.
PV
I think it was
Donuts.
PB Donuts. Yeah.
They're
That was
incredible.
great.
Yeah, so good.
Honestly, the East. I'm from I grew up in Texas mostly.
So barbecue is big for you?
Barbecue's big, but
Salt Lick?
Salt looks good. Salt looks
Woo!
great.
I love Salt Lick.
But the donuts, honestly, like the East Coast does not do donuts, man.
Really? Yeah,
Dunkin is trashed.
Oh,
I hate
yeah,
to
of
say
course.
it.
I
My
hear you.
people own all of them, to be honest, on the East Coast. But
I think here's my this is what I suspect with Dunkin'. You tell me if you think it. When they started out as like a single place, I bet the donuts were fucking great.
Yes.
Especially for the time period.
Yes.
But then, just like any big chain, the shitification happens.
Yep.
You go, well, we have so many. We got to cut down on the cost of the ingredients. We got, and we have to make enough of it that we can get everything similar everywhere.
Every single store in the country.
So it just ruins it. I know, man.
I think you're right. The coffee's good there. I like their coffee. Like their drip coffee's good, but their donuts almost feel stale at 6 a.m. That's what it's like. It should be the most fresh.
Yeah.
Like Texas, they have a lot of these like Korean-owned spots.
Yes.
Man, I judge a place by a glazed donut because that's
Me too.
what plain.
Oh, that's the way to go. I went to Texas for a wedding. It was Austin.
Well, in Austin, I went to school there. Yeah,
And there was a huge trailer park of different places, and they had the donuts.
Rainy Street.
Oh, maybe.
Was it the fresh donuts that were baked, like kind of like Seattle?
Well, they were put in like a little cardboard tray, and then they put like ice cream on top of it with toppings and stuff like that.
Oh man!
And it was with Torchy's Tacos like, in a truck. It was like there was like 5 different trucks.
Torchy's my favorite spot. Over
Great.
There. Did you have the queso?
This is 2013, so I was like, I don't remember what I had. I think I just had tacos, but
you would remember if you had their queso. They do their queso. They do a thing where they put the meat. They'll do like the ground beef, or they do chorizo.
I love chorizo.
And they mix it in. I love when they mix it. That's a Texas thing. Like they mix in the queso with.
Oh man,
Torchy's is good. But no, man, the Texas food scene is great. Well, so when you were doing the food write-ups, what was the most surprising place? Like, was there a place that you were like you weren't expecting, but you're like, whoa, this was phenomenal?
Well, it's funny. It's like I will say I was all excited because I love a really good like burrito counter bar, like not like a go sit down Mexican place, which I do like too.
Yeah.
But I love a casual place that's really, really high quality.
Okay.
Basically, like Chipotle, but independent.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And for some reason, it's hard to find that.
Yeah.
And so one opened pretty close to my house in Rhode Island, and I was like, oh, I'm so fucking psyched. I'm like, we're gonna go there every day. Blah, blah. I go there. It was fucking terrible.
Really?
But I never write negative reviews.
Sure.
I basically go. Like, let's say I go to a place and it's like not great. I'll just focus on the positives. I'll be like,
that's nice.
I'll be like, oh, this is a really affordable option in this area. Or maybe I'll just be like, okay, this was bad, their chicken's good. I'm like, their chicken, I'll only focus on the positives, really. And hopefully the people that are reading my articles can read between the lines. And some people are like, can be like, oh, well, I care more about price than this. I care more about, so maybe they'll still go. And it was so bad. And so I'm like, let me go again.
What was bad about it? Was it the flavors?
It was like everything felt way not fresh. It felt like they went to wherever and just grabbed all the frozen shit and heated it up. It just was. And so I was like, let me go again, give them a second chance. Even worse. And I just kept going for the same article until I could find something positive to write about.
They're very consistent with how bad it is.
And I'm like, the main guy there is not that unattractive. I don't know. I couldn't find any. I'm like, the parking, it's not great, but it's okay. It was terrible. There was there'll be places that like recently opened that you kind of had no idea about.
Okay.
And that was always kind of fun because it was like a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you one that was amazing. Someone reached out to me and they said, hey, my friend is a private chef. Ooh. And what she's going to do is, there was a place called, I think, Hungry Goat Kitchen in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And it was just breakfast. And they're like, she's going to do a private dinner that night for 8 people only. Would you go and write an article about that?
That's very cool.
And it was all Filipino food.
Ooh.
And which I have no experience with.
Okay.
And it was fucking incredible.
It
was like amazing. And that was really a situation where I walked in and I was like, I don't know what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had a lot of her own sauces that she made, like mango habanero sauce and stuff like that. And it blew my balls off, man. I was like, how do I get to more of these private dinners?
That's very cool.
I think there is a website, but I'm like,
I've seen a few, like there's like dining clubs or something in New York where you pay. I don't like the super fans. I mean, I love Taco Bell. That's like my go-to, like fast food. Like,
I also love dude, a plain double cheeseburger from McDonald's is at the top of my list as well, and the French fries at McDonald's.
The French fries are great at McDonald's.
But yeah, no, I feel the same way. I'm not super into like high-end steak.
Okay.
Because I'm like, this is such a single flavor.
Yeah.
And you're just getting the same thing. I'm way more into going for like Indian food and getting a ton of different dishes and splitting it with 7 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got any favorite Indian spots in the city or in Rhode Island?
Well, in Rhode Island, there's a place called India, and that's pretty much the top spot. It's so good.
It's like you don't even have to finish searching Indian food near me. You just put India, and it's like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, you just trip as you're writing it.
I'm literally going to try that next time I'm up there.
Dude, it's really, really good. Like I'm huge into sag paneer.
Oh, yeah?
I love it. Oh, yeah, dude.
Nice.
And then there's a place on Staten Island where I live called Basil, and it's Thai and Indian. It's really, really good.
Oh, is it like fusion-y?
I think there's a little bit of fusion-y stuff, but I've pretty much stayed to the Indian dishes so far. But I want to go there more. I've only gone there twice. That's the thing is, like, my personal belief is that wherever you are, if you really dig around, you're going to find all these hidden gems that are really cool. And people are kind of like, this place is great for food. This place is shitty for food. This place is great. And I'm like, yeah, but like, realistically, how often do you want to go out and eat like these awesome places? Like, you don't need, like, you can move to New York and be like, look at all these great places. And I'm like, you're going to go to 2% of those if you live here for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because if you go every day, you're going to be broke.
You're going to be broke and fat and dumb. But I really feel that way where it's like, you know, because people kind of rag on Staten Island, which I think people do just kind of recognize that Staten Island has like incredible pizza, incredible bagels, like all that stuff. But there's, you know, it's not the same in terms of like how eclectic it is versus New York. And I'm like, yeah, but like how, like, let's say you go out for like a nice meal once or twice a week. Yeah. And then it's like, you want a really good sandwich, you're going to get a fucking awesome sandwich there. Yeah. Or like little things like that. And most of the time you're eating at home. I really feel like wherever you go, you can find some special stuff if you look. And then there's also like, people, you know, how people say things like, oh, you can't get a good taco in Kentucky. And I'm like, what if a guy that's great at making tacos moved to Kentucky? That probably has happened. What has changed the food culture is the idea of social media. Yeah. So I think that people are even more interested in, like, if there's not a good, let's say, Indian food scene in Kentucky, wherever, they're like, oh, I can go there and I can open a place and I can blow up. And it'll be big because there's not a scene there. So it's like you're kind of working in both directions, and I think it's better for the consumer because you're just getting better stuff.
100%.
It's harder for the restaurants for sure because you're marketing and you're essentially, if you're really, really good at advertising and social media, and you have a restaurant where, and like someone else has a restaurant where they're 70 years old and they've been doing it for 30 years, they're at a crazy disadvantage because they don't understand that world.
Yeah.
But for the consumer, I think it's way easier to locate those places.
Yeah, one thing I'm doing with the show, because like Diet starts tomorrow, I'll be like, I like eating at places, so we've shot 2 of them. I haven't posted them yet. I was supposed to do it a couple weeks ago. But going to try different restaurants.
Oh yeah,
and we filmed it, and it's great because they give you so much food.
Oh, it's great.
It's unbelievable. But what I want to start eventually doing is be like, hey, what's your favorite spot in New York? Okay. Now we book you for the pod, but then we go.
We do it there.
And we taste it, and we try the food, and we show. Oh, he was talking about this like lobster roll. Now where he's eating it, this is what it looks like.
That's great. No, that's very cool.
The eventual progression of it is just
very cool. No, it's a lot.
I'm not trying to get fat.
I
am fat. I'm not trying to get fatter. I only wear hoodies.
I also know the production end is like if you got a place with the cameras and mics set up, that's great. And then if you're doing that and setting everything up and the lights, when you go somewhere, it's a different world.
Yeah,
for sure. So I get it, man.
But,
I like that.
Yeah, if there's any spots that you want to try in the city here that you want to showcase, let me know.
Oh, definitely. I'll
do that.
I'll give it some thought. Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned the Chipotle thing and how you want the
burrito counter.
Burrito counter, but like a mom and pop. So there's there was a place. It's still there, but it's changed because it got big. It got bought by a bigger company. But there was a place called Indie Kitch. It was an Indian Chipotle. And
I love this.
Dude, it's still around. It's still okay. It's not like as good as it used to be because there's this.
Was it a small chain now?
Yeah, so they've got like 4 now. There's a place called there's a Deep Foods, which is like a big Indian like prepackaged food thing. In India, they're big here too. They do frozen. Now they do frozen foods. You'll see them, and most grocery stores have it. Like say like Deep and then Indian Kitchen and like this.
Oh, I think I have bought that. Yeah. I buy that stuff. Yeah,
it's not bad.
Yeah,
but they used to do these like tacos. It was like dosa tacos, and they had like biryani bowl, but they would be mixing the sauce and the chicken and stuff fresh.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So I would go before.
I would love that.
Every show. Maybe we'll go try that. I would go before every show. Like when I was at New York, when I would do the Midtown New York Comedy Club.
Yeah.
There was one on 24th, like closer to Flatiron.
Yeah.
I'd like walk over there, eat, and then come back, and I was like, man, every day. Like,
I would love that. That sounds awesome.
That place is really good. I tried the place they mentioned on Tuesdays, the Smashed Burger or Smushed Burger.
Smash Burger.
On the west in Tribeca. It's in the gas station.
Oh, maybe it's. I don't know if it is Smash Burger because Smash Burger is a small chain. It might be a different one.
It's like Smushed. It's like something is similar.
Oh, interesting. I don't know.
Smacking Burger.
Smacking Burger. Interesting.
Burger.
Okay.
It's in the Mobile gas station.
Wow.
On 8th Avenue.
Wow, I'll go there for sure.
And you know what my favorite part about it was? And I found out later that a lot of places don't do this. They have the sesame seed bun.
Oh, I like that.
I love that, but you don't see it very often.
No,
you
don't.
You know why?
Why?
So many people have sesame seed allergies now. A lot of the burger spots stopped doing the sesame seed bun.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah, somebody told me that. I don't know if it's true or not. It could be a lie.
Sounds
I'm propagating here. Man, they do the sesame seed, and it's like just warm.
I love it. That's amazing. I love that.
Check that place out. That I recommend highly because they do like the In-N-Out knockoff with the Thousand Island dress. They do all that. 7th Street Burger is a chain here, but that place is legit too. 7th Street.
Cool.
7th Street's good.
That's great.
What was your favorite food growing up?
Like I mean, like I said to Danny Killia, I'm like I love chicken marsala.
Okay.
I eventually, it's so funny because like when you're a kid, you're just an idiot about like what's healthy and what's not.
Yeah, I'm still like that.
When you're young, for me personally, and probably for you too, I felt like everyone was like, dessert is bad. Don't eat a lot of dessert. And you're like, okay. And then you're like, man, a pound of Alfredo, spaghetti Alfredo, whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, or fettuccine Alfredo. You're like, oh, this is healthy. It's a meal. It's not dessert. And
There's
I'm like,
meat in this.
It's way worse. It's so worse.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, like I loved fettuccine Alfredo. That was a big thing for me.
I love fettuccine Alfredo. I love an Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
It wrecks me, but
yeah, me too. And I loved shake and bake pork chops with applesauce.
Ooh.
It's one of my faves.
Okay.
It's so funny because I think I was kind of specific about food when I was really young, where I was like, no condiments, no vegetables on my sandwiches. I was eating like.
Did you put chips in your sandwiches though?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay,
Ham and cheese heated up with chips on it. And you put the chips on after you heat it up.
Yeah.
Don't be an animal.
So, you want soggy chips? What are you, crazy?
Insane. This is insane. I'm gonna leave. But then it's like, I got super into, in my 20s, I got super into the seafood stuff and realized how special it was to have that where we lived.
Yeah.
And I got really into, Mexican is like kind of my go-to, honestly.
Okay. Burrito? Is that
I love burritos. I've got more into traditional tacos over the past couple years, where you have just corn tortilla.
Yeah.
I got really into Mexican. I think that's like my main thing I look for, honestly.
You gotta go next time you're in Texas. Go to Torchy's, man. I missed it all the time. I had Charles McBee, he's a very funny guy, good friend. He was on an early episode, and I had flown in from Dallas that morning.
Whoa!
And I was like, I'm bringing Torchy's. We ate cold Torchy's tacos.
That's great, man.
Still an 8 out of 10 for me.
That's
still
great.
An 8 out of 10.
Have you had coffee milk? Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know what that is, but tell me about this.
State drink of Rhode Island.
Coffee milk.
Coffee milk. It's the best.
How have I never heard of this? Okay, so what is it?
So you know chocolate milk.
Sure.
And there's Hershey syrup.
Yeah.
There is a coffee version of like that kind of syrup. It's much thinner. It's made in Rhode Island. That's kind of where it originated. It's made by the company Autocrat. And you mix it into milk, and it makes this very sweet coffee type milk.
That sounds good.
That's what you have with the wieners. It's fucking.
Oh man, that sounds really good.
My favorite place.
And it's
in Rhode
caffeine.
Island.
It's coffee.
It has a little bit of caffeine.
Okay.
You're only putting in, let's say you put in the same
something.
amount you put in like Hershey syrup. But yeah, there's caffeine in it. It tastes just like coffee, but it's super, super sweet.
Oh.
People are actually pissed off right now. There's a lot of controversy.
Why? What's going on? Oh, let's hear it.
Dunkin' Donuts has adapted the coffee milk into a thing called the Dunkin' Latte, which is new. I didn't know about this.
I didn't know about this. I stay up to date on Dunkin' Donuts. Although I hate the donuts, I like the coffee. I don't know about this.
I didn't know about this. I was going to my physical therapist.
Okay.
She's working on my shoulder. She's laughing at all my jokes. She loves me. And she's like, oh, have you had the Dunkin' Latte? Because we were talking about coffee. And I'm like, no, what is it? And she goes, I guess it's made from this thing called, like she said coffee milk. She goes, I guess it's that. And I'm like, do you know what that is? She's like, no. I'm like, do you know about the state drink of Rhode Island? Her eyes are glazing back in her head. She's backing away. And I'm like, here's what we're going to do. I sit her down. I pull out a chalkboard and I have a pointer and telling her about my history.
You got a tie on all of a sudden.
Yeah. Graduation cap. But so I was like, this is like the state drink of Rhode Island. And it's perfect for the hot wieners because it kind of cuts all the acid. And I feel very blessed. There's a place called Rod's Grill. So one of the Hot Gay Sets episodes, Mark came to East Providence, Rhode Island to do the Comedy Connection.
Yes.
And we went to my hometown in Warren. But that's my favorite place, Rod's Grill in Warren. I think it's been around for like 70 years. They, to me, make the best wiener all the way. And you get it with coffee milk, and their French fries are fucking killer. You put vinegar and salt on the fries. And you dip them in ketchup. It's amazing.
That sounds pretty good.
It's great. It's great, man. Coffee milk is...
all right. I'm going to go to Dunkin' and go check this out.
So that one's pretty good. It's not exactly the same because they do put espresso in it, so there's more of a bitter taste to it.
Okay.
But it's almost like an adult version of it. It's pretty good. Next, if we do something again, I'll bring you the coffee syrup.
Oh, I'd love to do it.
I'll bring it to you. It's so good.
Yeah, we probably should wrap up. But no, it's great talking to you, man. Thanks for doing the pod.
Man. Yeah.
I'd love to have you come back again, man. We'll do that.
Dude, I'll bring you the coffee milk. Hell yeah.
Sounds pretty good,
Maybe I'll bring you the Queen Amon from Seven Stars Bakery. If we could plan it for right when I'm coming back. And they also do cheddar sourdough bread. Ooh. That maybe if we plan it when I'm coming back, I'll grab a couple
things. I'll bring you There's a couple of cool chai spots there. There's Hidden Grounds. They start as a coffee/chai. They open a few now in the city.
Wow.
The guy Anand is pretty cool. He's one of the owners of it. They do an Indian like cheddar cheese kind of scone, but it's spicy.
Ooh.
I'll bring
I like that.
Bring some chai, do that. Yeah.
Wow, I love that, buddy.
Sounds good, man. So yeah, where can people check you out? You got an upcoming live show.
That's right. So check out my podcast is called Funbearable. With Ray Harrington and Brad Rohr. We do a new episode every Wednesday. Very weird stuff. We do a lot of like writing and scripts and stuff and pitches.
It's like a lot of pop culture. Yeah.
And we come up with stuff that we kind of wrote beforehand. Funbearablepod.com for info and tickets. It's going to be very, very fun. Narragansett Beer is from Rhode Island. And they're huge sponsors of us.
Oh,
we just had their rep come on our show. Yeah. They're awesome. So the show's going to be kind of themed around that. So there's going to be some Jaws stuff. It's going to be. It's a big summer show. It's called Funbearables. It's called Narragansett Beer's Funbearable Dumber Break.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So funbearablepod.com.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. And check out Tuesdays with Stories.
Tuesdays with Stories every Monday. Check out the Patreon. Get on there. We do a lot of fun stuff on there as well.
Yeah, awesome. And keep listening. Give us a comment if you had this coffee milk.
Yes. But if you talk about Rhode Island food, comment. I want to see that.
Okay, we got to check that out. And thanks for all the support. I got to put the food stuff out. It's coming out. I'm sorry if you're watching it. I haven't put it out. We'll put it out this week. Thank you so much. Bye.